Sometimes we step in something that is the last thing that we want to step in. And I'll give you 3 guesses what that material might be, and the first 2 don't count. Today, we're going to talk about what happens when we step in that certain specific substance and why sometimes that can be the most important step you will ever take. Let's tap back in together. We've all done it. You're walking along on your way to a meeting, perhaps a first date, or maybe you're just running late and need to pick up some last-minute groceries. Everything is going great. You have your whole day ahead of you. You take your next step thinking nothing of it, expecting it to be the same as all of the other ones before. Only it isn't. Squish. You stop, close your eyes, and say a silent prayer that when you look down, everything will be fine. You look. Everything isn't fine. Your shoe has been covered, engulfed in a certain substance that rhymes with hit and whose smell can only be described with the same word. Shit! You mutter under your breath. And it's at this point that most of us tap out. We get upset. We allow this one moment to color the next and the one after. And pretty soon, our attitude can only be described as that substance that is now on our shoe. What if it didn't have to be that way? What if stepping in it could be the start of something new, maybe even something wonderful? A number of years ago, when I was a senior in high school, I was shy and timid and frustrated at my seeming inability to express myself. It just so happens that at the same time I was feeling my lowest, there happened to be auditions for the next school play. I got it in my craw that I should audition. And as a good friend of mine was fond of saying, what have you got to lose? However, many of my friends, family, and classmates also said, Mike, are you sure about this? I mean, you can barely talk to people half the time. But I pressed on. The day of the audition, I was nervous, but felt this was something that I had to do. I drove to the venue, parked my car, and started walking towards the theater. Every step was filled with a quiet confidence that I could do this, that I could make it. Every step helped me to feel closer to that goal. And so I looked forward to the next step and the next one. Until, squish, I looked down. Yep, I said to myself, that seems about right. I frantically tried to get it off my shoe, wondering if this was the universe's way of not so subtly telling me to turn around. And I started to turn around and walk back to my car. After all, who am I to argue with the universe? Then I stopped, considered my options, knowing that turning away would mean accepting my current circumstances as the only ones that are available to me. I turned around and I pressed forward. And when it was my time on stage, I auditioned and read the lines. And as I did so, I happened to look down and notice that I was literally dragging the fecal material all over the stage. A lot of actors have been told they did a shitty job. Few can say they were actually bringing shit to the stage with them. But you know what? I got the part, and I got the next one. And pretty soon, I had a degree in theater and then moved to Chicago to pursue an acting career. And those same skills led me to opportunities to apply my acting principles in leadership, coaching, and training, and have culminated in my current career and these very videos. So what am I saying? Sometimes you need to step in some shit. When you take a risk, oftentimes it might not start off like you planned. You might step in some shit as you fail, falter, or otherwise manage to flounder as you try something new, as you risk. But sometimes that shit leads to another word that starts with S. Success. To tap back into life, you have to risk stepping in some shit, or actually step in some shit, in order to see what you are made of. I could have given up on acting right then and there. I could have given in and thought, this is a sign, and then just walked right back to my car. Who knows where I'd be today if I had made that choice? I'm glad I stepped in some, and I reckon that if most of us embraced that instead of running from it, we would all be a little better off. So step in some shit and tap back in.